My name is Stephanie Sutton, and I am a television personality and owner of the Redelynn Group. So I grew up in Chesterfield County. It's kind of a small town in between Richmond and Petersburg. And growing up in that area, I always knew I had a passion for media and television. I was that kid who always got in trouble in class for talking because I always want to talk to my classmates about this and that. And teachers were always telling me to be quiet. And I was like, you know what? I want to be able to find a way to use my talent of talking into something major. I'm so serious. So I always knew, growing up that I wanted to be on television and doing something positive with that. Not just to say I'm on television, but just to do it. Every night at dinner, our family would have dinner and then we would watch TV. So we'd watch Entertainment Tonight, Inside Edition. And I always wanted to be I want to be on Entertainment Tonight. So once I was in college, I started doing internships and I actually got to intern at Entertainment Tonight in New York City for a summer. That was the most epic internship I ever had. It was unpaid, but it was so cool. And after that, that kind of solidified I know this is what I want to do, and I ended up getting a degree in broadcast journalism from Hampton University. I like being able to get people's stories. I'm so intrigued by other people. Wherever I go, I like to talk to people and just be oh, where are you from? Oh, what do you do? What do you like to do? I'm so intrigued by people's stories, and I like being able to tell the stories that don't always get heard. On TV, you always see the most popular things. You always see the most crazy things, but I like to kind of find the things, the in-between, what's that new restaurant that everybody's talking about, but it's not really popping right now? Or who's that person that's really on the come up, but they haven't hit a celebrity status yet? I like kind of getting the in-between of people before everything becomes super major. So that's what I really love about being a media personality and then being able to put my own creative spin into it. The Redelynn Group is a company that's designed to empower, entertain, and educate through media and hands-on workshops. So we kind of are a twofold company. Our first fold is under the television category. So we focus on TV, entertainment, providing a lot of different lifestyle shows. If you watch TV now, we won't name any stations, but there's a lot of craziness on TV. And I feel like it doesn't depict, certain races and certain ethnicities and certain genders in a positive light. So our show is Montage, which is our inaugural show. It's for men and women who just want to enjoy fun and inspiration and food and fitness and just a positive lifestyle. The whole show is positive. So you'll see some really cool ways to make recipes or how to look at $1 million without spending $1 million, that kind of thing. And then the next part of our company involves hands-on workshops. We're really adamant about helping the youth. So we provide hands-on workshops as far as about self-esteem building, confidence, dream mapping, entrepreneurship. And those are geared more towards youth and teenagers and young adults. And we also do stuff for corporate. So if you're looking to do icebreakers for your company, we do that too. And currently we're actually doing some stuff with Pharrell Williams' organization, From One Hand to Another, providing workshops for those kids. You're talking about 600 some kids doing a bunch of entrepreneurship workshops. So that's the twofold of our company. And then of course we also provide, media services and production, the general of a media company. Why? That's a good question. Why? I want to be able to change someone's life. Not in the aspect of, I'm going to save you and you're going to be, this billionaire, but I want to change somebody's life as the way they might think or look at something. So if, for instance, if I provide, on my show, a way to wear an outfit a different way, that means you don't have to go spend, $100. If let's say you're being bullied in school, you feel like you got to wear all these super expensive clothes, but we can show you on our show how to find something for $5 in the thrift store and rock it like it's $150. I want to be able to change people's mindsets in that way. And our whole show is upgrading someone's lifestyle. So you don't have to go and spend crazy amounts of money, or you don't have to go across the world to experience and have fun. You can do things your own way. And that's why I do what I do, be able to change someone's life. Not everybody's, but at least if I've touched one person, I know that what we're doing, is on the right track. And the same goes for what we do for the workshops. If somebody comes up to me and says, I really enjoyed that. Oh, wow, I learned something from that. That's why I do what I do. Oh, the biggest challenge I've had to face so far. I would say the biggest challenge that I've had to face so far is not giving up. I think it is so easy to be like, you know what, this is really too hard. I think I'm gonna go another route. And I came to a point, I was going through a lot of things in my life, and I came to a point I was like, you know what, I'm done. I'm tired. you in your mind, you have this thing of like, oh, I should be here at this age and I should be doing this and I should be Oprah by now. So you come to that point, you're just like, man, I don't want to do this no more. But then you get that moment, that phone call or that email or that text from somebody who says, yo, I've been watching what you're doing, keep it up. It kind of gives you that boost. So the biggest challenge has been not giving up. And now that we have started the Redelynn Group, I almost feel like I have even more reason I wouldn't say more reason to live, but a more reason to just prosper because we've poured so much into that. You talking about pouring money. That's the pouring money, time, and passion into that. That's the main reason now why I won't give up. So that's been one of the biggest challenges. And then, I feel like a lot of people aren't honest about this, but looking left and right, a lot of times when you feel like you should be somewhere and you see somebody else doing something, you're like, well, how come? Wait, hold on. But I've been doing, it's really hard to not look left and right sometimes and feel like, man, I feel like I should be there. But now, and getting older and going through the process more, I'm appreciating the process so much more now because I'm like, okay, slow and steady wins the race. For a person come out of college, don't be afraid to ask. Like, for instance, when I came out of college, I started one of my first media jobs was in Channel 13 News. I was a production assistant. And then at the same time, I was working for Cox Communications. So when I emailed Cox, I was like, oh, I saw this TV show that I liked of yours. I'm interested in coming to your, studio and maybe helping out. I thought I was just gonna come be helping out, just kind of feel around, get my hands wet. Fast forward like 2 months into my situation, they were paying me. And then they were like, oh, do you want to produce a show? I knew nothing. I was 22. I knew nothing about actually producing a show. I knew how to get up there and talk, but I knew nothing about producing a show. But my answer was, sure. I took somebody else's rundowns, the thing is, don't give up and don't be scared to take on opportunities. Just because you don't know how to do something, say yes and figure out how to do it later. That's how I've gotten so far in the opportunities that I've had. I've said yes, and then I've just learned and studied my butt off to figure out how to do it. So now, because of that, I'm able to produce other people's shows. Now I'm producing my own show just because I said yes and just learned how to do it. So I would say definitely don't give up any opportunity. You are gonna have to work for free, starting in media. That's one of the things. And then just don't limit yourself. Learn how to do every aspect of everything. One of the biggest things that I hope when my career is over is that our company continues to still live. We're creating something that is not just a here today, gone tomorrow. We're not like the next hot reality show or the next company that's gonna come in, do all this stuff and then leave. We wanna create a legacy that is ongoing. So let's say, when we're 80, 90 years old and we can't get up and do anything in it anymore, we're gone on. It's like, we wanna know that the Redelynn Group's legacy is still moving, whether it's, we're having schools of media or we're still doing workshops internationally, or we're still having TV shows that can still be out there, or having somebody else that can take over 4 shows for us. We want to be able to give opportunities to the next young generation to continue to live this on. I think a lot of people are so stuck in what they want to do that they're not looking, okay, at a certain point, you're not going to be able to do this anymore. So who have you trained? Who have you built up to be able to keep your legacy on? We treat this like our baby. I haven't given birth to any kids, but this is like my child and I want to see it grow. So I need to give it all the materials it needs so when I'm not here anymore, it can still grow. So that's what I want to happen when I can no longer do this anymore. You see how Oprah transitioned. Yeah, she was a TV host for 20 some years and now she has a network. She realized she can't do the Oprah Winfrey Show for 80 years. That's just not realistic. So you have to set in place people to be able to take that over, like how she's done, she's got Iyanla, she's got Dr. Phil, she's got all these other people who she's grown and built up. That's the kind of thing that we want to do, build people up so they can continue the legacy, because we're not going to be here forever.